Hey, it's Jason. We're down here in Wynnewood, Pennsylvania, just outside Philadelphia, where we are building a rec pond. And we are super excited for this project. However, like most large projects, you always run into something, right? This one here, there was an existing pond here. And Kyle and Greg and the team did a great job coming in and getting everything removed. But when we got everything out, and as we were pulling it out, we quickly realized that this was an old swimming pool. So now we got to contend with this and figure out how we are going to build our pond on the inside of this swimming pool and still make everything work in order to get the rec pond the way that it's supposed to be. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So let me start off by describing this area that I'm standing at right here. This is where the water is going to end up. We call this the negative edge. There's going to be a pond behind me, and this rock right here is going to be our waterfall rock. So the water is going to come over this rock and flow down into this negative edge. What a negative edge is it's an area that we store a lot of water. And the reason we do that, and it's where the pumps are housed, we call it basically the heart of the system. It's where the pumps are housed, and it pushes the water all the way up to wherever we want it to go from there. So the cool thing is this is also our mechanical filter, which is our skimmer. So this waterfall rock right here is going to bring all the debris from behind me down over into this negative edge. This negative edge is going to collect all of that debris and everything, and this will be our clean out point, kind of like a skimmer would do on a swimming pool or on a pond. But we are using this as our skimmer. We dig a big hole and we install a fabric. What a fabric is the fabric is this material here, and this is what protects the liner. After this goes in, we install this rubber liner, which is this here, and that's what is our membrane to make sure that the water all stays within our closed system. Then we install the vaults, and that's where our pumps are housed. And then we install a whole bunch of these things called aqua blocks. And this is an aqua block here. And what this does is it allows us to store the most amount of water in the smallest area possible. So we actually have 40 of these aqua blocks in this system here, and each one stores 32 gallons of water. So that is how we are able to store enough water here so that when this system is up and running and shutting down and doing all those things, that we have plenty of water in our basin. Standing in what's going to be their rec pond. But apparently it's an old swimming pool too, right? We did not know that once we got this liner out, we were going to be dealing with this entire pool. And again, Kyle and his team have done a great job. They came in, they got this thing out. They actually had to take a jackhammer, put it on the front of one of our machines in order to cut out part of this existing concrete pool. And the reason that they had to do that is because ultimately when we are all done, we want the shape and the size of this not to be constrained by the pool. So we want to be able to have the flexibility that we need to do whatever we want with the shape and size to make this a really natural looking feature. That entire negative edge area that I described, we actually take that and we build that in reverse. So down in the bottom here, we have what's called a bog. And in this bog, there's going to be water being pushed from that negative edge to the bottom of this and flowing upward. And the benefits to that is, again, this is a rec pond. You're gonna be able to jump in here and swim and have all kinds of fun times. But we don't want it stirring up a bunch of dust and dirt and organic matter when you're in here. So by installing one of those biological filters in the very bottom, what that does is it breaks a lot of that stuff down, and it also gives us a bunch of water movement down there. So it's really just gonna look really awesome. You can't see it right now because we got the liner pulled in, but there's rocks and boulders in here already. There's a whole bunch of those aqua blocks down there. The water has already been flown into there. So when we're all done, water level is gonna be up here. So this is gonna be about 5 feet deep in the bottom, and there's gonna be a set of steps coming down in. From that side, it's gonna go down into the deepest portion, and then you're gonna be able to walk back up this other side behind me. So this is going to be a really cool project. But again, we are definitely dealing with some obstacles in order to get there. There's a lot going on here. This is a tricky one. Usually we just shape the dirt however we want it. And then after everything is shaped, then we put our fabric in and our liner in and then start rocking from there. Because this was an existing pool, what we got to do is pull the liner all the way out, build our bottom shelf, pull the liner back in, bring a whole bunch of this dirt in and re-sculpt this and shape this the way that we want it, pull the liner back out, do it again, and that's probably gonna happen about 4 times. So each shelf, that'll have to happen. So there's a lot going on here. This here has to be, believe it or not, the most important tool on the job. This is called a zip level. What we do with the zip level is shows us different areas and gives us a level line. So I now know that this waterfall rock right here that you saw us setting with, the reason why we are using this is because all the way on that back side over there, we know that that's about halfway up that tile. So that's gonna be our finished water level to make sure that everything ends where it needs to be. It's how we set the depth in the very bottom. This is the most important tool on the job. We use these things constantly. So all the way over here is where we are actually gonna start this feature. This is gonna be our biological filter. It's gonna be our constructed wetland. This wetland is so important. And this is how we are able to make rec ponds possible. This up here is what filters the entire system as far as keeping the water clear. So that bottom one, the negative edge, that mechanically filters it, this biologically filters it. We are going to build it in a very similar way that we did the bottom, where we pipe the water into the bottom, we flow it through through the snorkel and centipede, up through some aqua blocks, through different layers of gravel, and ultimately through aquatic plants. And that's what's going to keep our water clear. They work out great. We use them on a lot of different projects. The fun part is we're going to build some waterfalls that come out of here to re-oxygenate this water, and it's going to look absolutely great. We're going to take it off of this side. We're going to bring it down and around. We're ultimately going to move over to here, where we're going to bring it over, and then we're going to drop it into the rec pond itself. So there is still a ton of work that needs to happen here. As you can see, it's a little bit cold outside. I'm in some goats. It is a muddy mess, but we are having an absolute blast, and Kyle and his team are doing a phenomenal job. So apparently this is a hot tub. When we started digging out that negative edge, Kyle all of a sudden starts hitting, and it took a lot of what that machine had strength-wise in order to get this out. It was just another obstacle we ran into here, and we dug it out. We're working on figuring out how we're going to get rid of this. We have a whole nother pile of stuff that has concrete mixed with rock, mixed with sand, mixed with dirt. Some of that is going to shelve out our pond, but not all of it. We definitely got a big mess to clean up, but hey, part of the fun sometimes. So we're going to get you a few more videos of this project, so be sure to check back. Please remember to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. And until next time, keep building your outdoor dreams. Only time I'll do any work is if there's a camera around. I'm still mic'd up.